This is So What Who Cares with Laura McCarville and Jeff Kolaski. Join us as we explore practical insights for an impractical mind.
Let's hear it. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. So What Who Cares? I'm Jeff, and that's Laura.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so glad you're listening.
Or watching.
Mm-hmm.
Some people watch.
I like watching.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you said you didn't watch it.
I like watching it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll listen, but I like the
Yeah.
platform.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's a different experience. Do you remember, like, either on like radio or when podcasts before they had any video form, or maybe still, like when you would kind of make up what someone looks like in your head because you don't know what they are, like an audiobook or something,
Yes.
and then you watch them talk and it's kind of surreal. You're like, well, that's not what they're supposed to look like.
Yeah.
But it's super weird hearing them in person
Yeah.
or like
I
with...
had that experience, I think I told you, with my massage therapist. Have I told you this?
No.
So when I was a high school teacher in California, we had amazing insurance. And with that insurance, we were able to get a weekly massage through our chiropractor. And
I
so
need that insurance.
it
My
was so
God.
good. So every Friday, I would go in and get body work.
Oh my
But he
gosh.
ran it in such a way, and there were so many of us teachers going to him that it was like in and out. So he'd like make that step out. I'd go in before even seeing him. Like I would never, and then face down. Like I never saw him.
Oh my God.
And then I left teaching, so I wasn't going to have that same insurance. And we were like, well, we've been hanging out for 3 years weekly. I
Yeah.
knew about his life. He knew about my life. We're like, let's go get coffee. And I couldn't like have a conversation with him
Like,
because the
this
whole
is
time I was
so...
looking at him like,
Who
this is
are
what you
you?
look like. Like if I could stare at your feet, I could probably talk,
Right.
but I can't look at you.
That
We
is
got coffee
so
one time
weird.
and we were like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. Wow, that's hilarious. I have
Yeah.
a similar story about a massage therapist.
Okay.
The second, third time I went to her was shortly when things were loosening up after the pandemic, and she was still wearing a mask, like, and so was I. But obviously it would come off when I lay down, and it would be on when whatever. I went to another... I hadn't gone to her for a long time. I ended up going to a different shop, and I walk in, we say hello to each other. Neither of us knew that we were someone that we've worked with several times before, until she saw my tattoos on my back, and she goes, "Oh my gosh."
Like she didn't recognize you.
No, she
Of
didn't recognize,
course.
and I didn't recognize her because I had only seen her with a mask on in a different building.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until she saw my tattoos and she's like, "We've worked together before." I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
A little bit different story, but
same.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not weird.
Yeah, here we go.
There we go. So we're still on our series right now of taking questions and comments from our listeners and our viewers, some of the things that they want to hear us discuss. We are still going down the list. I'm actually really enjoying doing this series because it's a little bit more, putting into practice some of the things that we've talked about, and how they can apply to people that listen, and people, what people are dealing with, and all of that. So yeah, let's get right into the next question. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I am.
All right. Quote, "My body..." I don't have to quote that. Here it is. "My body has been a war zone for my entire life. It doesn't feel like a safe place to be. Can you talk about how to approach embodiment when your body has been through so much trauma?" That's heavy.
It is heavy. Yeah. And there's such a push of embodiment, or a story around healing only happens if the body is included in somatics and healing in body, as if you don't have access to some sort of sense of self or
Mm.
regulation or a full life if your body is, you know.
When
Um,
this question says, talk about how to, why am I struggling with it? How to approach embodiment.
mhm.
What does embodiment mean in that context? Like,
Mm. Isn't it weird? I ask my daughter sometimes. She had this torn quad,
mhm.
and we didn't know it was torn, and she didn't tell us it was torn.
Oh, wow.
Where she's like, I got this lump, and you do that thing of like time passes, and then it's like, oh my gosh, Mila.
I've had
And
this lump for 6 months.
I
And
know, and I was terrified, like, oh my God, it's cancer. But anyway, it ends up being a torn quad. And she's like, well, I don't know if it hurts on a scale because I don't know what it's like to be in someone else's body.
Hmm,
Like, so it hurts, but does it hurt like the same as it hurts you? I don't know.
right.
And it was kind of, meant to be sort of philosophical in ways. And
Mm,
but there's some truth of this. Like, what does embodiment
right.
mean? And again, we go to like the social media of like all the waviness and like
Hmm.
sensuality, and that's one way embodiment shows up. But I think it's more relational to the container, that you can be in the container, and it doesn't mean like it always feels good, but that there's some sort of acceptance that you have a container that you're
Hmm.
expressing yourself through.
Sure.
um
Mm,
maybe, well, the extreme in my mind, I go to like my extreme people I've worked with. And there's a kiddo who, when we would go around the room and say, like, what are you feeling? Or using some of these mindfulness techniques of like tapping into the body, she would say, and we're not talking emotions, she'd be like, I feel nothing. Like, she was very clear that there was no relationship of mind body connection. And it took a lot of time until one day her eyes like had the sparkle of like, I can feel my legs,
mm,
because of, and she was young, but because of the trauma she had experienced, that being in the body didn't feel safe.
mm.
So, with that being said, to the caller, like, or the person who wrote in, I just appreciate that
Next
because
caller.
next caller, the caller, your age is showing.
Welcome to the late night call-in
Remember,
show.
was it Delilah?
What was her name? Miss
Oh my,
Cleo.
oh my God. I was thinking of that love line with
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Delilah.
I was thinking the psychic.
Oh, I
Welcome to Miss
mean,
Cleo.
I do love a good psychic. So,
She's a fraud.
n- okay.
Absolutely.
So is Delilah. No, I'm not. I don't
I
think so. I mean, I don't, I agree with I do think Miss Cleo was found
Oh,
out as having
absolutely. I
some
think it's been
problems.
proven.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, yeah.
But psychics are real. Noted.
Let's dig into that one.
Next time, if
Next
someone
time on
wants to
So
write
What?
in,
Who cares?
let's do kind of play with some
Okay.
things with this, like how we can approach
Sure.
embodiment. And I would say what I wouldn't get hung up on is that um, there's you have to be in some sort of shape or in contact with, or the body doesn't have to be a thing that um, mm, don't get hung up on it, is
Okay.
what I would say. And I teach movement
Mhm.
and for trauma recovery. I teach
Sure.
yoga. I'm in the body. Um, I teach somatics, but be careful of what we start to consume in the way of, I can't reach a place of well-being um, if my body's been abused, abandoned,
Mm.
you know, traumatized. So, how do I move towards embodiment? I think that we recorded something where we tap on our hands
Mhm.
and we start to, um, so somatic experiencing is what that is, where we start to move into like just looking at your hands and being like, these are my hands. I can feel my hands. And being in a shower and just
Mhm.
feeling the water on your body. And before moving like into like, oh, body positivity, sometimes it's just moving towards body neutral of and and
Here I am. I'm experiencing
yeah,
it.
like
I'm feeling it. Yeah.
Here it is. And right now, even when I work with people with like fibromyalgia or chronic pain, there's it's more of like how can I be in the body,
Mm.
have a relationship with it, um and less consumed by it, because the opposite of like not feeling your body is obsessed with it,
Mm.
um attached to it, processing all of your trauma and emotions and storytelling through it. So somewhere there's got to be somewhere between the two.
Mhm.
um we move towards this embodiment idea. And I say idea because, again, kind of like what Mila was saying, is I don't know what it's like to be in Jeff's body, and Jeff, you don't know what it's like to be in my body. And so, how can I inhabit this container with a lot more softness and kindness? Where do I access pleasure, ease? When we are working with like people who've experienced chronic pain and those neural highways are really, you know, fast,
Mhm.
sometimes we have to actually train the brain to that connection of where there's not suffering, where there's not pain. um, and I also want to mention that a lot of times, and I actually had a client who gave me this feedback, so I'm going to reshare it if no one's heard it. But um, when we've experienced trauma in the body in the past, it's important to remember that one, it never happened to this body
Mhm.
because our body is always
Mhm.
changing, even the skin fluffing off as we sit here. So it nothing happened to this body. Like here I am right now,
Right.
and nothing happened to the essence of who I am. Never got close to that. With that being said, there's like this nuance
Right.
of like the war zone is so interesting too to use that language because mm,
What does it do? Like, obviously, we don't know what this person's specific traumas
mhm,
looked like, but what does that do? Why does it make, why is this person, I mean, I know based on what you've said, based on the people I know in my life, and maybe even some of my own experiences, that's not an uncommon thing to experience trauma and feeling, disconnected with your body and
mhm,
with your essence and all of that.
mhm,
What is it that trauma's doing that creates such a separation there?
mm.
Is that something we should get into here?
Well, in the most simple way, when we are in a moment of survival, sort of like the chicken, when that I've told the story of my chicken when it was attacked by the dog, it froze.
Mm-hmm.
Like a part of our survival is like exiting the building,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then coming back online is sort of that work. Um, And then, because I was just in this car accident a couple of weeks ago and I have some soreness still from that, but what it took me back to is when I was assaulted by that high schooler and when I was a teacher 20 years ago, like that it just mirrored it. Two different
Mm-hmm.
um experiences, but both like physical, this physical beating upness.
Right.
So because of then how the brain works of it like stacking like things together,
Mm-hmm.
then we start to add up all of the things. M- With that being said, how we even frame it, like the body has been a war zone, I think like, okay, well, there's the things that happen to you, but then there's the things that happen in you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how many times have I like dropped my own heart to tend to the mind,
Mhm.
recycling the thing. And then the war zone, it's not even happening in present moment, but because it's happening here, my body's getting these stress signals, and so then we're like, so it becomes more like, how can I shift today, right now, my relationship of mind to my body? And we've talked about how, like, even a body scan, it can be kind of triggering.
Mhm.
And if I say,
A body scan meaning, like,
like in meditation, mindful meditation, or sometimes
feel
in
your feet,
yoga, like,
feel your
yeah,
hands,
feet, ankle, knee,
check if you have to
yeah.
pee, right?
Yeah, that's a different type of body scan.
Okay, gotcha.
But it
Tracking.
is this idea of like, can you put your mind and your body
Yeah.
in the present moment? And sometimes it's triggering, and sometimes it's too big of an ask.
Mhm.
And sometimes we have to titrate in just for a moment of
Right.
like, oh, I can wiggle my toes and feel my left foot's really chilly right now, and
Mhm.
that's enough, without story. It's chilly because I have restless leg syndrome,
Mhm.
because my hip is hurt, and then it's causing it to be even more chilly, and my
'Cause my
mom has chilly.
circulation's not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's right. There's a story, but in somatic awareness, there is like some opportunity to drop
Mhm.
story. Not all the time, but
Yeah.
sometimes. So then we start to go, well, I wonder if there's other things that we can reframe. Like, and I don't, again, we're
Right.
speaking more to the general than to the specific with this caller, or
Sure.
again, the caller with this. I just
Oh, the
am
number
picturing
on your
like a
screen,
landline and the screen
1-900,
going, yeah.
so what, who cares?
Oh my God, that would be so great. I have heard of people going back to landlines where they have this like cord that attaches to the wall, and they plug their cell phone. It's like a cell
Hmm,
phone, but now it's connected to the wall,
hmm,
and they're not taking it
so
out.
that it's not as much of a part of your life?
Yeah, like you have to go into
Hmm,
the kitchen and
I think
use
you can
it.
still get a landline, can't you?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway,
hmm Okay, so what were we
I
saying
don't know.
about a war zone?
Mhm,
Mm, Sometimes just a reframe of like, has there been pleasure?
mhm,
We are wired for pleasure as well.
mhm,
Has there been any place in the body that feels neutral? Any times that you've danced or celebrated
mhm,
it? Not you, no. Or climbed a mountain,
mhm.
or sat in a kayak, or
Mhm.
walked down the road and
Right.
felt the sun.
Mhm.
Like, just simple little, almost like retraining the brain to make other connections
Right.
to the body. um
I was just recently talking to my therapist, going through some stuff with maybe not the same exact, but a similar feeling of just sort of feeling a little disconnected, you know, probably on a completely different scale,
mhm,
one of his first questions are, you know, what are you doing right now for pleasure? What are
mm,
you doing just because it makes you smile?
mm,
What are you doing that, so valid, like, well, I don't know. What am I doing just for that? Not to just kill time or ease pain or ease, or anything like that. It's what am I doing because I like to do it?
yeah.
It's powerful.
It's like a really important assignment
Hmm.
of being alive.
Hmm.
We are here for such a short amount of time, and while things are really difficult, and they are, it's still part of the human experience to um, move towards pleasure and practices that do bring joy.
Allow
Um,
yourself to feel those things. Allow yourself the permission. I mean, even the words that he said, give yourself permission to not just be productive,
mm,
you know, like, wow, that kind of opens my eyes up a little bit because that's,
Counterculture.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to just be for the sake of being productive. Like,
Mm.
you can feel the other things too. So,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And there's actual like research and science around like play,
mhm.
and
Yeah, we've
how,
talked about that. Yeah.
what we learning, and feeling in the body with
Mhm.
a sense of play.
Mhm.
That's, I'm careful not to be like overreaching, even,
Yeah.
of what someone's been through. And if it's like, what's the first step? Go back to the meditation, the somatic experiencing, where
Mhm.
you're tapping your hands. You can just in your shower feel the water on your
Mhm.
back, and this is my
Right
body.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not, again, it's not like I feel awesome. It's
Yeah.
more like this is my
I
body.
feel.
I can feel my
Mhm.
body. There's water on my back. I can
Mhm.
feel my back. This is my back. This isn't anybody else's back. This
Yeah.
is my back only.
Are you saying those things out loud? Do you say those things in your head? Does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And that starts to kind of create that.
It might matter. It might be important to say it out loud.
Hmm,
I can't say for sure.
for some people, it might. Yeah.
It depends on your processor.
And that's starting the process of like in a way that is not super vulnerable, in a way that's not super like risky or
It can
open you.
feel super vulnerable and
Sure.
super risky, and it can feel super stupid. Like you're
Yeah.
like, this is so dumb that I'm doing this,
Hmm.
Laura.
But even
Um,
that's admitting a feeling, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm feeling silly right now.
And
Okay.
then you just do it
Yeah.
anyway. Oh my goodness, this kind of takes us back to dancing.
It does.
We'll
It's
skip
too bad I
over
don't
it.
dance.
I know.
We'll go back to that someday.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
maybe not. It is wild though how much dancing culturally, ancestrally
Mm,
is tied to our well-being.
yeah.
The rhythm. I mean, you're a drummer, so I
Mhm.
know you don't like dance, but you dance
Sure.
because
Yep.
you're a drummer. So
Yep.
rhythm, the importance of falling into
Hmm.
and the benefits of it,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
being in dance. So
I just don't know what to do with my hands.
are you being serious, or is that a line from like a
No,
show?
no, I'm being serious.
Well, I'm a finger snapper, and
Are you?
that's aging me as well. But or not, I don't think. Just put them in your pockets.
Isn't that like yeah?
I could just see it.
Yeah. That's
Um, it's because you're used to having drumsticks.
that's true.
Bring it, just dance with your
That's so
drumsticks.
corny. Oh,
By
light
yourself in
sticks,
the kitchen, no
glow
air.
sticks.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Take me
gosh.
to a rave and I'll just drum in the
Easy,
air.
easy, done.
Isn't that
Saturday.
your thing?
I mean, it's not my thing, but I love going to EDM
Yeah.
festivals. I love
It's not
going
my
to
thing, but I do it every
yeah,
other
I mean,
weekend.
yeah, there's one on Saturday we could go to. So if you're serious right now,
Uh,
but there's different stages of life. And I was like, really into fish and following fish, then it's like a whole different thing you're
oh,
doing with your,
PHI
yeah, 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 yeah.
fish.
Yeah. So more glow sticky,
Uh-huh.
but then same, a little bit different now,
Yeah.
but
You ever done
still.
a hula hoop?
Have I ever had a hula hoop?
Yeah.
Yeah, personally made, actually, for
Yes.
myself and
Uh-huh.
my children. We
Yeah.
had our own
Weighted hula hoops.
personally made hula hoop. Funny story, when I was younger, my aunt used to hula hoop all the time to like get in shape. She's always like, I'm hula hooping to be in shape. And I always remember thinking, like, I don't know
I
if
don't know if
that's
it does
enough,
that.
but it was great as like a form of
Yeah.
exercise. The 80s were so
Yeah.
funny, had people doing all sorts
Oh
of
yeah.
things.
The thigh crusher or whatever that thing
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Thigh
My
master.
gosh, I have a crazy story of this girl this woman, amazing client, was telling me of a very traumatic story of that thigh master. She was babysitting. So she was young, like a
Mhm.
teenager, and she did it with her hands, and it snapped and hit her nose and broke her nose.
Oh,
And the little kids had to like call, like the whole thing, like I know you can imagine the very
oh
traumatic
my
experience of the
God.
thigh master breaking her nose.
Ouch.
Ouch.
I had in our old house, I for a while, I don't know if your algorithm was the same, but for a while there was this thing pop going around on all these ads where it was like a neck tension hammock thing that you laid your head in and like it pulled up on
Mhm.
your neck and
Mhm.
you like laid on the ground and you hooked it on a doorknob or whatever.
Mhm.
I had one of those and I enjoyed it. I must have bought a cheap one off of Amazon or something. So I would you had to like slide yourself away from the door so that you can get
like,
tension, and it's on this like elastic. Well, the plastic ring broke, and so I'm all relaxed, my eyes are closed.
No.
Bam, and it snaps and it hits both of my eyes. I thought I blinded myself because the plastic pieces hit me in the eyes, and all I saw was just white, bright white. I seriously thought I blinded myself with it.
Oh my goodness.
Thankfully I didn't, but yeah.
That's terrible.
It hurt real bad.
I'm so
I
sorry.
haven't had one since.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I feel your client's pain with the, like, you're trying to
metal
do something.
thigh
Yeah.
master
Oh, no.
snap. Yeah.
Especially when you're sitting there relaxed, thinking that, like,
yeah.
ooh, let me get into my spot here. Bam.
Yeah, that's terrible. My grandparents were really alternative, and they had this like cranky, like I felt like a crank. I don't know, but it was hooked to a door frame, and it would invert you, so you would like hang upside, but like from a door frame. It didn't feel very secure.
Yeah,
you know, but it was. They were always into weird stuff like that. So, you know, you'd go over to visit them, and they'd be like, you want to get in the
going upside down.
You're upside down, or putting your feet in a bath of water and holding a light. And they're like, I mean, he had machines.
Here, hold
like
this toaster in the bathtub.
Yeah, we're just charging your electrons, you know, and like real
your grandparents sound cool.
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have had access to the internet, but he'd go to the library and he'd buy these machines online. And
probably from a late night 1-900 number.
Oh yeah, things that you need a medical script for, he'd have.
We'll keep doing these questions for a little while longer, I think. If you want to send us a comment or a question, you can email us, mail.sowhatwhocares@gmail.com, or you can DM us or something.
Yeah.
However you want to get, or if you know us personally, you can send it to us. We'll keep you anonymous.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you don't know us personally, Laura's personal cell phone number is just eating.
It's okay. It's on my website anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It's there.
Guess if you really want to find it, it's in our show notes. Okay, bye.
Thank you.